So
He knew something everyone else didn't.
So, hey, you guys, I just want to say, because I see all the cameras going right now, feel free, before and after the movie, to use your cameras, to take as much video or stills as you want, inside, outside. But while the movie's on, make sure to please turn off everything. You may not think it's a big deal, but I guarantee you the people sitting behind you think it's a really big deal. Okay? So, and as Steven said, sing, dance, have a good time. Kenny, 2 years ago, we did a screening of Newsies at the ArcLight in Pasadena, and we didn't have any idea what to expect. Was anybody there? Okay, a couple people. We had no idea what to expect, and I have to tell you, I had the pleasure for 6 years of working with George Lucas up at the ranch on Star Wars and Indiana Jones, so I've been to all sorts of crazy fan screenings. That beat all of them, that Newsies screening.
Yeah, I was there with my mother and my sister, who's here today, and I thought we were just going to come in and once again have the pleasure of watching Newsies on a big screen, and in fact, the audience became the experience as much as the film. And I was really thrown back. It was a beautiful thing to realize that so many people had found the movie and had come to love it as much as I have. And so I hope today that we can have that same kind of fun and you can feel the freedom to join in and shout back at your favorite moments and let's make an event out of it, yeah?
And if, by the way, if you tweet or your Facebook, if you tweet, use the @Disney D23 so everybody knows where it is. Now, we knew you were coming. You didn't know he was coming, but we knew you were coming. But until this morning, I didn't know that 2 other people were coming. So do you want to introduce them?
Yeah. Before I do that, though, I just want to say that I've had a creative partner all these years that's worked with me on so many films, dating back to Dirty Dancing and to all of my high school musical films, and he's been responsible for helping me find, you know, so many amazing performers. And he was the associate casting director for Newsies. He also played Candyman in the meta scenes backstage. But he single-handedly, you know, found this incredible ensemble of young Newsies, and I just wanted to say hello to him. He's here visiting with us and seeing the movie today. Greg Smith, where are you? Stand up, say hello. Greg Smith, everybody. And also, you know, it took a lot to sort of hold this entire production together, and there's so many people behind the scenes that were responsible for, you know, keeping the engine going every single day and making it a vibrant and wonderful place to work when we made this film. And one of our producers is here, Mary Ann Sweeney. Where are you? Oh, there she is. Last night, I looked at my invitation for today, and I noticed that were a couple of names on the invitation of people that were going to be joining us. And I thought to myself, gosh, I know there are 2 people in town that I haven't seen in a long while, who I love very much and who are a big part of this movie. And it just, both of them I had run into, so I knew they were here. And I thought, you know, why aren't they on the list? And I swear, this is the truth. When I arrived today, somebody walked up to me and said, oh, by the way, they're here. And so I couldn't be happier because I love them as men and they were incredibly important to our film. One of them, you know, one of the greatest dancers still on the planet today who played Swifty. Please say hello to Kevin Stay. And how many of you have seen the movie before? Well then, I'm not going to have to say much other than our beloved Crutchy, Marty Belatsky.
He's such a nugget.
Say hello, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, you fellas.
Look at it. Marty just said, I've been Crutchy for 20 years.
No, it's 20 years goes by. I mean, you start realizing the old theory of relativity, right? I mean, 20 years just seems like the other day, right? So, Kenny, I'm wondering, when did you first hear about Newsies as a project?
Jeffrey Katzenberg was the president of Disney at the time, who's now over at DreamWorks, a very successful and talented man, and called upon me to join him in what he said it was a venture to reinvent the musical for a new generation. And most of you might not know, but Newsies at first was a dramatic film. And he said, why don't we turn this into sort of an American Oliver? And I love the idea. Oliver was a big favorite of mine growing up. I'd actually been in it as a boy. And I love the Dead End Kids and everything that I read in the pages of Newsies as a dramatic piece. And so Alan Menken and all these wonderful, other folks came along, and we turned Newsies into a musical, and the rest is now 20 years of history.
And, music videos were very popular, obviously, but music videos are nothing compared to actually shooting a musical film, which is kind of an art that by 1992 had fallen by the wayside. So what was it like for all three of you to actually be here in Burbank, as I recall, right? It was here at the Warner Brothers lot.
We worked on a couple of lots. Universal, big part at Universal and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and so what was it like to actually?
Well, first of all, Kevin's been in just about every video. I mean, from Michael Jackson to Madonna, every artist that has been, at the top of their game has gone after this guy to be in their video. And I would say, talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh. I've been in over 50 music videos. Hidden around somewhere in the back, in the shadows.
Hardly.
Yeah, it's fun. It's music videos are fast and furious. This was a treat because we got to actually workshop everything and work with stunt coordinators and work with vocal coaches and actually get to dig into the characters and dig into the story and create who we were going to be. Music videos, you get a couple hours of rehearsal, and then blam, blam, do the shot, and all they want to get is a hair flip, and then you're out. But this we had time to play.
And I've been in 51 music videos, and I
At home, and
I've only been in 2. So it was a physical production as well. This is not a staid kind of traditional Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. This is a super physical production. So was it a hard shoot from that standpoint?
actually broke my leg. That's a joke, guys.
Originally he wasn't on crutches. His name was Smitty.
it was Jumpy.
What was it like to do choreography with the crutch?
Well, it was hard because what would happen was we had like 2 or 3 months of just rehearsal, dancing, singing, learning how to talk, the whole deal. And so we would all learn the dance, and we'd spend, I don't know, a week or two learning, one dance, just hours and hours every day. And everybody would be exhausted after learning the moves. And everyone would go and sit down and take a break, and they'd be like, all right, Marty, now we got to teach you the same dance, but now with a crutch. I'm like, well, I want to go play basketball. No, we got to do it all again now, figuring out how to do it with a crutch. So it was intense, but it was awesome. I loved it.
It was intense, but we invented it together. There were those things that you could imagine from reading a script, and those things that you could sort of draw out in a storyboard kind of fashion, and those ideas that you developed with your cinematographer and the writers. But the heart of Newsies came out of the invention of all of us working together. And I just kept my eyes open and my ears open, and so much of the heart of this movie really was born out of the hearts of these guys and all of the other guys that aren't with us here today. It was an extraordinary workshop, the most creative set that you could imagine being on. They were wild, they were fun, and focused when they needed to be.
And I think I remember reading about you had some famous visitors to the set, including Gene Kelly, right? What was that like?
Gene Kelly was my mentor, and I had met Gene when I was doing choreography on a film called Xanadu.
Come on. You've all
and Greg
seen it at
Smith
3
cast
o'clock in
all
the
of my
morning.
dancers in Xanadu as well. But I met Gene Kelly while I was doing Xanadu, and really it was the best part of the experience. I walked away having a friend for the rest of our lives, and he became my mentor, my teacher, and invited me into his home and into his life, and he shared all of his films with me, and actually one day put the viewfinder that he used to make Singin' in the Rain around my neck, and took it upon himself to share with me his concepts of designing choreography for the camera. So